Your subconscious mind has been working against you every single time you tried to protect yourself from what you fear. Every worried thought, every anxious rehearsal of the worst case, every moment you spent defining what you desperately wanted to avoid, all of it was instruction. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why your inner mind treats "I don't want to be broke" and "I am broke" as the same command. Think about the last time someone told you not to think of a red car. What appeared instantly in your mind? The red car. Vivid, immediate. Your conscious mind understood the instruction perfectly. Your subconscious did something else entirely. It received an image, red car, and held it up like a photograph, completely indifferent to the word "don't" that preceded it. This is the mechanism that runs beneath every manifestation failure you've experienced. Your subconscious mind operates in images, feelings, and impressions. It processes content, never context. The qualifier you attach, "I hope this doesn't happen," "I'm afraid of this," "I refuse to experience this again," registers as static. Background noise. What lands, what imprints, what becomes the working blueprint is the thing itself, the scenario, the feeling tone of the unwanted outcome. Neville Goddard taught this with surgical precision. He described the subconscious as a faithful servant that takes every impression literally and works tirelessly to externalize it. The servant has no capacity for judgment. It cannot weigh whether you meant something as a fear or a desire. It receives the feeling of the state you occupy and says, "Understood." Then it builds. So when you spend 20 minutes before sleep running through all the ways your relationship could fall apart, visualizing the argument, feeling the distance, rehearsing your response to betrayal, your subconscious receives a detailed architectural blueprint, complete with emotional specifications. The fact that you are trying to prepare yourself, to guard yourself, to avoid that outcome? Irrelevant to the builder. The builder only reads blueprints. And your feelings are the ink those blueprints are drawn in. This is where most people get trapped in a loop they can't see. They notice something unwanted in their reality. Fear activates. The mind begins running scenarios to protect them. Each scenario is a vivid, emotionally charged instruction delivered directly to the subconscious. The subconscious faithfully manifests more evidence of the feared thing, which triggers more fear, which generates more detailed blueprints. The loop tightens with every cycle. You've lived inside this loop, you know the texture of it, that gnawing feeling that the thing you're most afraid of keeps showing up, as if reality is mocking you, as if you're cursed. You're watching the faithful execution of precise instructions you never meant to give. But someone might push back here. If the subconscious is this literal, this mechanical, how does anyone ever escape a negative spiral? If every fear thought is an instruction, shouldn't we all be drowning in manifested nightmares constantly? The answer sits in the same mechanism. The subconscious responds to sustained impression, to the dominant state. A passing fearful thought carries less weight than a deeply felt assumption held over time. The spiral becomes dangerous when it becomes your resting state, when worry becomes the background hum of your consciousness rather than a momentary visitor. The escape exists in the same literalness that created the trap. Give the subconscious a new dominant impression and it pivots with absolute obedience. The challenge is that most people try to change their dominant state by fighting the old one. I will stop thinking about debt. I will stop worrying about being alone. I refuse to entertain these thoughts. Each refusal is another delivery of the unwanted image. You're trying to leave a room by describing the room in detail as you back toward the door. Your subconscious hears debt, alone, these thoughts. It files each one as current instruction. The way out has nothing to do with resistance. It has everything to do with replacement. Consider what happens when you tell a child to stop running near the pool. The child hears running and pool, the action and the location, and their mind produces exactly that image. Now tell the same child, walk slowly. Their mind produces an entirely different picture. The instruction landed clean because it contained only what you wanted, with no reference to the unwanted behavior. Your subconscious has the same architecture as that child's understanding. It needs to be told what to move toward, only what to move toward. This is why Neville insisted on the practice of living in the end. The state of the wish fulfilled contains zero reference to the old state. When you genuinely occupy the feeling of financial abundance, the relaxation in your body, the ease of decision-making, the quiet confidence when a bill arrives. There is no mention of debt anywhere in that impression. The subconscious receives a clean image. No contradictions, no static. The mental diet becomes everything here. Every thought you entertain is food for the subconscious mind. And this is where the real discipline lives. Catching yourself mid-sentence when your inner monologue starts defining what you want by describing what you want to leave behind. I don't want to be anxious anymore must become, I am calm. The content shifts completely. One sentence hands your subconscious a picture of anxiety. The other hands it a picture of calm. Same intention. Radically different instruction. Start noticing how often your desires are framed as negations. I don't want a partner who lies to me. Your subconscious receives, partner, lies, me. The emotional charge of betrayal accompanies the delivery. Now reframe, my partner is honest and transparent with me. Different image, different feeling, different blueprint entirely. This practice will feel mechanical at first, clunky. You'll catch yourself 3 sentences deep into a fear spiral before you remember to redirect. That's fine. The catching is the work. Every time you interrupt a negation and replace it with a clean, positive impression, you're training a new reflex. The gap between the unwanted thought and the correction will shorten over weeks. Eventually, the mind begins defaulting to the clean instruction without conscious intervention. There's a deeper layer here that most people miss. The subconscious doesn't just receive your verbal thoughts. It receives your feeling states continuously, even when you're thinking about nothing in particular. That low-grade anxiety humming beneath your daily activities, that resignation sitting in your chest when you think about your future, those are instructions too. Constant, quiet, powerful instructions being delivered every waking hour, which means the real work goes beyond catching negative sentences. It extends into the body itself, into the emotional tone you carry through an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. If your resting state feels like bracing for impact, your subconscious is receiving impact incoming as a standing order. The revision must reach that deep. Your body needs to learn a new resting state, and that happens through repetition of the desired feeling until it becomes familiar enough to be automatic. A lullaby method works here. As you fall asleep, in that drowsy threshold state where the conscious mind loosens its grip, repeat a short phrase that implies your wish fulfilled. Feel it as already true. The subconscious is most receptive in this state, most willing to accept new impression without the conscious mind's editorial interference. Isn't it wonderful? Was Neville's favorite. Simple, clean, emotionally warm. It contains nothing to negate, nothing to resist. Pure positive impression delivered at the moment of maximum receptivity. Do this for nights in a row, then weeks. The compound effect of consistent, clean instruction will begin showing up in your waking state. You'll notice your default thoughts shifting. The worry loops will lose their grip. They'll arise and find less purchase because the dominant impression underneath them has changed. Your subconscious has received new orders, and it's already building. The world you walk through tomorrow is being assembled tonight in the images you hold as you drift towards sleep. Every time you rehearse the unwanted, you're signing a work order. Every time you occupy the wish fulfilled, you're signing a different one. Your subconscious has always been listening with perfect fidelity. The question was never whether it would obey. The question is what you've been telling it, and whether you're willing to speak its language clearly enough that the only thing it can build is what you actually want. Tonight, when the lights go off and your mind starts its familiar patrol of worries, try something different. Give it one clean image, one sentence with no negation in it. Hold that sentence like a coal in your hands, feel its warmth, and fall asleep inside it. The faithful servant is waiting for clear instruction. Give it one.